The Boston Celtics, they had to put the brooms back in the closet on Friday night as there will not be a sweep in the NBA Finals because the Dallas Mavericks, they crushed Boston 122-84 in Game 4. So let's talk about the finals and a little bit more. We're going to do that with a contributor and podcaster for TrueHoop. My friend Jarod Hector joins us now. Jarod, how are you doing? We at least have one more game of these NBA Finals. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm good, man. Always a pleasure to be with you. I was hoping Boston would do their thing and wrap this series up last night. But, you know, it's a little extra basketball never hurt anybody.
Look, and I found it interesting for the people that love the sport that are like, yeah, man, we can get this thing over. We can wrap this up. We love the sport, but let's just get to the offseason right now. We've seen enough. We've seen enough things about how it's going to be. Anyway, following Game 3, Luka Doncic, you saw this, he was strongly criticized for his effort in that game and lack of effort on defense overall. The Mavs superstar did drop 29 points in 33 minutes of his team's Game 4 victory. But, Jarod, did he silence the critics with his bounce-back performance in Game 4?
I mean, you know, that's tough. And, I don't want to give a certain person who criticized him heavily. I'm not going to even say who it is. Y'all know who, got him so hyped up that he had to respond to the criticism. I mean, look, Luka had a good game offensively, and on defense, he showed the requisite effort that his team required. As a whole, the Dallas Mavericks played well, and they were able to extend their series, right? Professional pride kicked in, and they didn't want to get swept. I'm going to be a little hesitant, though, to say he's turned some corner defensively. Let me see him do this in back-to-back games, 3 games in a row for an entire series before I say he silenced critics on the defensive end. We know what kind of a world beater he is on offense.
Right. The offensive end, the 29 points in 33 minutes, to your point there, we've seen this before, right? I think the criticism was more on the defensive end and him fouling out of the game. So, yeah, we got to see some more there. I'm with you on that. Now, when you look at this in terms of Boston, missed opportunity, obviously, for the Celtics to sweep in Game 4. After the loss, Jaylen Brown said that his team, quote, has to reassemble here. So how does Boston bounce back and end this series at home in Game 5?
Human nature set in for Boston, right? And you could see it in that Game 4. They played like a team who knew they've got to beat us 4 straight times. That's probably not going to happen. And, I don't love that mindset and that attitude, right? Dallas came out with desperation. Boston could not match it. The multiple efforts that we usually see from them was not there. And so what they have to do is get back to the fact of realizing that, hey, we have not won a championship yet. We got to close this thing out. And so they need to come into Game 5 at home with the requisite energy, the multiple efforts on defense like they've been doing all year. And again, on offense, getting back to their versatility, breaking people down off the dribble, doing what is necessary, swinging the ball. And they got away from that in Game 4.
Yeah, got away from that in the last game. See if they can bounce back to that. You mentioned the word versatility, and something that helps the Celtics' versatility has been Kristaps Porzingis. And according to reports, he was moving pretty well during a pregame warm-up before Friday's game. But Joe Mazzulla said he wasn't quite there physically to play in Game 4. Do the Celtics need KP back for Game 5 in order to close this out?
I wouldn't say they need him back for Game 5. What KP does for Boston, Dexter, is he optimizes them fully. When he is playing and he is healthy, that is probably the best 5-man offensive unit in all of basketball. No disrespect to the Denver Nuggets. Matter of fact, we saw it all year, right? Number 1 offense in terms of offensive rating in the history of the NBA. He optimizes them because he's a stretch 5, pulls people away from the rim, Lively, Gafford. Those guys get a guard out in space. And he's also a very good post scorer when you get a switch on him. So he optimizes them. But they're good enough to win without him. They had a 28-point lead in Game 3 without Kristaps Porzingis, who didn't play a minute. So they don't need him to win. However, the longer this series goes, if he is not able to play, his presence may be a hindrance to Boston going forward. So Game 5, for all intents and purposes, for Boston is a must-win.
Yeah, you don't want to get in trouble and have to play a Game 6 or more, another game after that. So we'll see how it all plays out with the health of Kristaps Porzingis. Now, Jarod, you're talking about it being a must-win, and I think this is part of the reason you're saying this. We know the history here. No team has ever come back from a 3-0 deficit in a best-of-7 series in the NBA. Does the Game 4 victory by the Mavericks give you any reason to believe that they can come back and win 3 more games in the series?
It doesn't give me any belief that the Mavericks can come back and win 3 more games in this series, but I do think at some point we will see a team down 0-3 win 4 straight. I mean, look, we've seen it in baseball. Matter of fact, the city of Boston knows that very well. We have seen it where teams have forced a Game 7 before, right? They just haven't been able to win it, win that 4th straight. So it will happen. I don't think this Mavericks team is good enough, mainly because I don't think their defense, particularly by Luka and Kyrie, is consistent enough to do what is necessary. They were great in game 4. I don't know if they can put that again together in Game 5. But if I am Boston, you need to come out again with the requisite desperation, hunger, and desire to win. Because let me tell you, if you somehow lose this game and it goes back to Dallas for Game 6, they're in a world of trouble.
World of trouble. And I see what you did there, bringing up the comeback by the Red Sox. I had to go annoy all the Yankee fans
Sorry,
that are
Yankee
watching
fans.
this too. They can't be feeling good about that at all whatsoever. Okay, so with all that being said, Jarod, and you called it a world of desperation should the Celtics lose Game 5 and have to go play Game 6 in Dallas, what's your prediction for Game 5 on Monday night? Do the Celtics wrap this thing up, or are we going to be headed back to Dallas for Game 6?
No, I think the Celtics wrap it up in Game 5. I think they come out with the requisite energy. Jaylen Brown has said this team, they responded all season long to lulls and ruts, etc. Again, this is a must-win for them, right? They'll be facing pressure for the first time, Dexter, since probably first round against Miami when it got tied 1-1 in Game 2 when they lost that at home to Miami. So they're going to feel pressure, but this team, I believe, is built to withstand that. Top to bottom, they have been the best team all season long. In every possible metric, and I think they come out of it with a win and get their 18th NBA championship. Is that right?
That is correct. They would take the lead in NBA championships with 18. That is correct.
Yep.
So it'll be
yeah,
all right.
That's what I see.
So you got the Celtics doing it here with getting their 18th championship. Folks, they've been dominant, as Jarod said, 15-3 thus far in this postseason. You heard the numbers from them on the offensive and defensive end in the regular season. We'll see how it all plays out. Game 5, Monday night in Boston between the Mavericks and the Celtics. That is Jarod Hector, contributor, podcaster for TrueHoop. Check his work out there. Jarod, I know you want this to end. As much as we love basketball, I know it's like you got to wrap this up. You got to wrap it up box out for the Celtics. So we'll see if it ends Monday night. Thank you, my friend.
All right, thank you.